Good morning, everybody. It is Lynn from A Bit of Birdsong. It's nice to be off today. I am going to make a little journal that this is going to be bigger than most necklace type journals. You know, you can make tiny little journals and put them as charms on jewelry. I want this one to be a little bit bigger. I love to be able to take journals into work and share them, but we have a busy store. We have so many customers. We laugh sometimes that everything that's not nailed down is for sale. That's not entirely true. I mean, we do have to have displays that we don't sell and lighting and things like that. But I just stay so busy, I'm afraid to take a journal in and just leave it out. Not because anybody would hurt it, but someone would buy it. And that wouldn't be a bad thing, except it wouldn't be priced. Anyway, so I want to make a journal that is like the big journals I like to make. And I want to be able to wear it where I can just take it off of the clip, like have it around my neck. It's going to be big, but it's not going to be too big. I don't really feel like cutting out pages this morning. I was trying to find something that would be perfect page size for these little collage squares. And this looks perfect. The fact that there are holes in the top, I've been trying to think of how to attach it at the side, but I'm wondering, I need to figure this out, how I want this to be. So what I'm doing now, I'm going to cut out a few of these and just work on this book. And maybe hang out for a little bit. You can probably hear the coffee maker in the background. This is my second cup, but I didn't get to finish the first cup. It was about halfway full and I knocked it off of a counter. I can't believe the cup didn't break, but it hit just right so that coffee went up like a natural spring, or a geyser I should say, out of the ground, and it just went everywhere. Went all over the walls. Thank goodness it was on a rug that is washable, and it didn't get on the floor at all, so that makes it a little bit easier to clean up. But I was not happy that I did that. So I'm just cutting these little pieces down right now, these little squares, and I want to make a book. I think it's going to be really pretty. I want to make a book that is like the larger books that I make, where I use the sewing machine to sew the signatures in. I think it'll be really quick to make. I just need to get everything cut out and just get it done. I say that knowing that sometimes smaller things are harder to work with than large things. That's funny. So I wonder, I was thinking about tearing some, but these are so small. There's not a lot of room to work with to make the tear exactly like I want it to be. So for now, I'm going to just keep cutting. Anyway, I'm just rambling this morning. It feels really good to be off work. I love going to work. In fact, I'm already looking forward to work tomorrow. And I'm always thinking of ways that I could organize the paper better. I think I've mentioned before, we're dependent on what the universe sends our way as far as structures to put things on, and You know, it's just it's a magical, magical place. The scrap exchanges. It's kind of one of a kind. Well, it's a one of a kind place. I have said before that if running a retail store is like having a newborn baby, then the scrap exchange is like triplets. There's always so much going on. But we get a lot of scrapbook paper in, and it's so organized when you go into the box stores. Although things can get messy there too, but we don't have all of those fancy displays. For one thing, we wouldn't have room to create a whole wall of scrapbook paper that's color coordinated. And even if we did, it wouldn't work out because we don't order paper. Paper gets donated. So one day we might get a stack of someone's Halloween leftovers. And then another day we might get a stack from somebody who loved the color purple. And another day we might get a stack from somebody who just decided they weren't ever going to make another page of anything, and they've donated their whole craft room. So it's just always a challenge to try to organize things. Anyway, the point is, I like to go to work. And I've been thinking this morning about organizing that scrapbook paper to make it more shoppable. I'm going to go fix my coffee. I think it's ready. So this is the cup that I dropped. This is the, I almost dropped it again. That's my Fox mug, one of them. I love it so much. Every time I take that mug to work, everybody says, "Oh, I love your coffee cup." And I tell them it came from the Dollar Tree. I really lucked out when I found those because I think it was one of those things, you know, every once in a while the Dollar Tree will get things in that come from really nice, well, not that the Dollar Tree's not nice, but they get things that would be much more expensive. And perhaps it's overstock. I don't know, but those cups, I looked them up on Amazon and they were much more expensive, and I think they came from some, you know, maybe if it was only Walmart or Target or places like that, they would still be a lot more expensive. So I feel like I lucked out. Another thing I found recently was a stack of t-shirts from the children's place, that clothing store, and I know their clothes can be expensive. I think I showed you that. I picked up a shirt for my daughter, and they are saying it's a boy, and that shirt was for a little boy, so it worked out. I had planned to give it to a friend who just had a baby if Michaela found out she was having a girl. Let's look at this for a minute. These are already tea stained. 1, 2, 3. And that's 10. That's probably a good size. These, I have a large stack of these. These disappeared for the longest time. I had these listed in my shop, and then I couldn't find them anywhere. And I think that's what happens sometimes when you have so much stuff, and we're all limited by some sort of boundary. I just don't have the space to give a shelf to every single thing. I have some things mixed in together. I try to keep things that are listed for sale in a separate place, and these were. I had totally put these in a place where they were safe and they wouldn't get messed up. And then I sat the folder that these were in, or the envelope, where I couldn't see it. and it hid from me for months and months. So these have resurfaced, thankfully. All right, let me think about this for just a minute. I think I have 20 of these, 10 of these, which is just right. And so what I'm going to do now is sew. I'm going to have to do some sewing. And I will be back. I love the way this little book looks so far. I cut my hand while I was gone. It's not too bad. It could have been a lot worse. It was on my rotary cutter. I just sliced it right across the top of that joint. It could have been worse. So here is the book so far. Love the cover. I didn't have room for the whole bird song stamp, so I put the little bird that I like so much. And now it is time to start decorating these pages. Now, do I want to, I think what I'm going to do is this. That one doesn't need to be distressed, not fully. I'm going to distress the whole book. But some of these are so dark, there's just no need to paint the pages with the stain. So let's do this. Let's pull out some of the ones that are lighter and paint those so they can be drying while we play with the rest of the book. Let's see, this looks like it might be running a little bit. Let's see how bad that is. Oh, I like that. That's not too bad. Yeah, if you don't have, if you have just a inkjet printer, you know, the ink can run. And what is the one, is it a laser printer that's more permanent? Anyway, I have loved my inexpensive Hewlett-Packard DeskJet. It's just an inkjet, and I love it. It's been really good for me. So let's just go around the edge of the turtle. Those are going to sit there for a little bit while we work on some other stuff. I need to figure out what I want in the front. Oh, she's so pretty. I hope you can see this okay. So we will intersperse the girls with the plants. And I think I do like that in the front. So let's cut it down just a tiny bit more. We don't need to cut it down too much. Get the Mod Podge open this morning. Once I get this book done, I don't think it's going to take that long. The sewing time was a lot quicker because, of course, I mean, the same amount of work is involved as far as putting the pages together. I mean, it's the same process, but doing the length of the page is just what? It's just a fraction of what I would normally be doing. I'll make sure that's flat there. I maybe should have put it under the, it might still slide. Nope, that's okay. That's actually fine like that. Sometimes I like to slide it under the fabric there, but I really like that actually. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, which is what I was counting on. This is 10 signatures. So I only have 4 of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We will put her here. Oh yeah, that is so beautiful. I love that. Once I get this done, then I've got to figure out how to make it so it will hang up on a, well, not hang up, how it will hang on a necklace. 1, 2, 3, 4. How I can attach it and easily detach it so people can look at it. That is the whole point of this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Another girl can go here. Ooh, I just love this already. Let's see about tearing the edge of this one. Yeah, that worked out. They're so tiny. Oh, but I like that. It's worth it. It's worth it to take a chance. And then that's the last. I had a call from my daughter. So I've got quite a few pages done. And now I'm back. I'm just gluing these little sheets into place. These little tiny pictures. So there's that. I've done ephemera for journals like this before, talking about inkjet printers. And if you put water on them, it makes the ink run and it can end up looking really old. Now, that's not always what you want. This book is meant to look old and sort of mystical, so that's okay with me. I'm going for really, really distressed. And some pages will be more distressed than others. But it does end up making really pretty, old-looking stuff if you take an inkjet and put some water on the little pages there. I need to answer some emails. Fridays and Saturdays are very busy for me. I always have high hopes of coming home from work and doing so much with my business here, but I'm usually just wiped out, and especially the weeks that I've kept my grandbabies, because that is just physically and mentally tiring, even when they're good children, because you have to watch them all the time. Sometimes they have restless nights and they're up through the night. Sometimes they're not feeling well. Of course, they sometimes argue over the same toys. So it's just Fridays and Saturdays. So I apologize if I'm late answering anybody. I know I have emails there. I've probably read your email and just haven't had a chance to answer yet. Does anybody here use a juicer? I've got to do better at getting mine out and using it every day. I used to really be good about that. On the other hand, I noticed in Food Lion that they have, well, what's their organic brand? It's like Nature's Place or something. A large bottle of cold-pressed green juice was only $3.49. And when I say large bottle, I don't remember how many ounces it was, but it was a good size drink. The bottle was 1 serving, and it's as much as I would make if I ran my juicer. Only I didn't have to buy all those fruits and vegetables. I didn't have to peel them, and then I didn't have a messy juicer to clean up. So I tried one of those yesterday on my lunch break, And the green one was really good. It has dill in it. It's got cucumbers, kale, spinach, dill, green apple, and it was very, very good. It made me wonder if I should just buy those, because I don't know. Am I making sense? Does anybody have a juicer? And have you tried if you're close to a Food Lion, have you tried their Nature's Place cold pressed juice? It's in the fruit and vegetable section. Yeah, I liked it. I think I like what I make better, but I like to put a little bit of sea salt around the rim of the glass, or either in the juice, on the top of the juice when I make something that has a lot of vegetables. I could pour this into a glass at home and do the same thing. I feel like I knew I was missing a page. So let's put the turtle. This turtle reminds me of my friend who loves turtles so much. She's the one I made the big turtle journal for. If you might remember that. And then I made an extra one, and I sold it. I put it in my shop. Yeah, I like the turtle in there. Now there's a lot more to do to these pages yet, and I've got to figure out how I want to do this. I know it's kind of big for a pendant. It's light. That's not going to be a problem. It's just, okay, so I need to put something on here to tie it. I know I have plenty of ribbon, and it needs some charms, definitely. And how do I want that to attach? Probably, oh, I think I know. I need some little stamps for this part. Can't be too big. Look how pretty that is. I love the way the ink runs a little bit if the pages are damp. Jay, thank you for these stamps. Again, I've put everything to use. I really, really appreciate that you sent me that. It's so generous, and anyway, thank you. There's another little stamp. And let's actually, it's not showing up enough. Let's hit it with some water. That bird might be too big. Well, I don't know. We could even just get part of it. That page still feels a little bit wet. Let's have it right on the edge and see what it does. Ooh, I like it. Oh, and that one, what can we do on that one? This one says, stop and smell the roses. Oh, look. I love that. That was perfect. Let's take these pages and doesn't look like there's much ink there until you put some water on it. And then you realize there's a lot. Most of these pages came out really, really even. There's one that's a little off more than the others. Got glue. Look at this. I love that part of the words are showing through on the tags. Let's see. Ooh, I just thought of something. I wonder if we took a little bit of this. It might not stay. It might not stay wet enough, long enough. Oh yeah, it did give us a little bit of a circle. It's just hard to hold on to the way that lid is shaped. Oh, I like that. Okay. Let's put a few more stamps. Oh wait, this is cool. Is this a, this looks like a jar. Oh, that's pretty. It is a little jar. Look at that. I like things that make you stop and think. Yeah, see, that doesn't show up as nicely on the black. That's okay. But it doesn't do the same thing for me as having it where you can see the whole thing. This butterfly is the perfect size for this journal. I don't want to go completely wild. It doesn't need to be on every page. I wonder if we can get a little bit of an imprint right up here. I like that. That's really pretty. All right, I'm going to stop with the stamps. I've got some lace. Definitely going to take this to the sewing machine. Let me just think about, oh my gosh, that is so, I love that. My goodness. I mean, I think we're all We're all smitten with paper and lace and books and the whole thing. So let me go sew some lace on some of these pages and I will be back.